Hello everyone, my name is Kamal. Will the audience please show themselves for the camera? Now I have to warn you, in this presentation we discuss topics such as death. So if you're sensitive, then view at your own discretion. In 2022, in the state of Missouri, a woman by the name of Melissa Farmer had a pregnancy, but she complained of agonizing pain and she was terrified. Upon going to the University of Kansas Health Hospital, her doctors told her that she was at risk of severe blood loss, infection, and possibly death. An opt for abortion was necessary. However, the doctors detected the faintest heartbeat, and as a result, she was denied in light of Missouri's recent abortion ban. Unfortunately, the pregnancy caused a miscarriage, or resulted in a miscarriage. In her lawsuit, it was revealed that she was later unemployed and had to move to another state. Abortion isn't heartless. Rather, it is a critical decision that could potentially affect the trajectory of your entire life. I'm here to convince you that abortion is not morally objectionable. Rather, that is, in certain circumstances, there are situations in which abortion should be permissible. Credibility. I've spent about 2 hours researching this topic, and in the past I've also given another presentation on abortion, discussing whether or not it is ethical, and if it is ethical, in which situations it should be permissible. Reasons: we have poverty, right? Mortality, mental health. There are unreliable alternatives to abortion as well, and although some people think that abortion could cause negative mental health effects to a woman, that's just not true. These are the basic reasons. We will go more in depth as we go on throughout the presentation. First reason, poverty. Abortion is not morally objectionable because newborns that are born into this world after the mother is denied abortion generally tend to be born into unfavorable conditions. So according to this study submitted to the Multidisciplinary Science Journal, per 1,000 women, babies are born into statistically lower classes of wealth than those babies born to higher classes. And being born into a family of lower class puts you at risk for health issues, educational issues, and further on down the line, more financial issues. And this will be corroborated by this study submitted to the Journal of Psychiatric Research and Reports. According to this study done in the Philippines, out of 41 women, over 80% reported that they didn't have an income and they were actually under 19 years of age. And moreover, almost 3% of these babies died after giving birth, and nearly half of them had neonatal sepsis. Or in other words, were sick. Now you may be thinking, okay, this is the Philippines, we live in America, what do I care? That's a fair concern. However, you must realize that just because this is the Philippines does not mean it does not concern us, right? This poverty, it affects the world at large, the entire world. And in America, we see cases of this as well. For example, in Skid Row. Just because it's happening in the Philippines does not mean it could not happen here. Let's move on. Second reason, mortality. Abortion is not morally objectionable because denial of abortion leads to higher maternal death rates, or in other words, more mothers dying at giving birth. So if you look at this orange color here, the bars generally tend to be higher. These bars represent maternal death rates in states in which abortion is restricted, and these darker ones represent maternal rates in states where it is not restricted. You see, they generally tend to be higher, which means that in this abortion bans and banning abortion and abortion denial causes more mothers to die upon giving birth. And this is according to a study submitted to the Commonwealth Fund. I have to quote. Third reason, mental health. Women who are denied abortion generally tend to express more psychiatric illnesses. So if you look at this study here, that was submitted to the Rhode Island Medical Journal, 982 and 910 women out of 2,372 women expressed symptoms of anxiety and depression. That's nearly 40%. That's a huge chunk. And all these women experienced so much mental distress upon being denied abortion. Fourth reason, unreliable alternatives. Some people may say, okay, you can just use maybe contraceptives so that you may not have to use abortion down the line. But that's not exactly fair. According to a study done by the American College of Obstetricians and Gynecologists, the longer the period of gestation, the more likely it is for someone to resist the effects of a contraceptive. This means that contraceptives may not guarantee you not being able to need an abortion. Imagine if someone told you all these warnings and give you all these precautions upon which you did your best to follow. However, they failed you. You look at your final resort. You're saying, I have to go and I have to do that. However, that same person, they step in front of you. They say, okay, no, stop. No. We warned you. You should have listened to us. Now you're gonna have to live with the consequences. Mind you, this person, these people, they're not really familiar with what you're going to. Wouldn't you feel wronged? Wouldn't you feel in despair? That's not fair. Fifth reason, there's a misrepresented advantage in the effects of abortion. Some people say that a woman who has gone through abortion, they generally tend to experience certain levels of depression. However, according to a study that was submitted to the Cure Psychiatry, this is just not true. This Turnaway study, right, it had two groups, and in these two groups, one was denied abortion and one was given abortion at their leisure. The people who were denied abortion reported that they experienced higher levels of depression, while the people who were given abortion were not. This debunks this misrepresented advantage that people profess. To conclude, many people think that abortion is evil, but they need to understand the trials and tribulations that the mother is going through. And not only just the mother, but the very baby they fail to protect, or claim to protect, I mean to say. These babies are born into financial adversity, health issues. The mother is put at psychiatric distress. This isn't fair, right? Abortion is not heartless. Abortion is a safeguarding of a family. Thank you. And that's it. Wait. Could the audience please show themselves for the camera?